When talking about corners, we need to understand a very important concept, the apex. According to the dictionary, an apex is the angular summit of a curve. Here we have a curve, and we've marked the apex with a pylon. For autocrossing purposes, we're going to move that apex around and define it as the point where your car is closest to the inside of any given corner. And, depending on the type turn, we'll move it from an early apex to a late apex. There are three basic types of corners we find in an autocross: ingress, egress, and neutral. A neutral corner is defined as a constant arc of more than 160 degrees. To negotiate this turn properly, we place the pylon here and call it a late apex. This is the point where the car comes closest to the inside of the turn. The car stays out wide as it enters the corner and touches the inside of the curve at the late apex. Here's what it looks like if the car makes its apex too early. By early apexing, you have to scrub off speed sooner, and you're committed to an improper path of travel when you get to the other side of the corner. Neutral corner. A late apex, the proper way, touching the inside of the curve late in the turn. When the car is driven properly, it's a very nice flow. Here it is again, this time an early apex. Things get out of hand and valuable time is lost with the jerky move at the end of the turn. The success or failure of a turn begins in the approach. For a late apex, we want to stay wide, and as the car negotiates the turn, see how much smoother a late apex can make the turn. Here's a comparison of times. The proper way, 7.208 seconds. Improper, 7.548 seconds, for a difference of 0.340 seconds. Now let's take a look at an ingress corner. This is a turn where the straightaway we're on is longer than the straightaway we're going to. For this type of turn, we also want to take a late apex, only touching the inside of the curve late in the turn. Down the straightaway, approach the corner with the car way out wide to the right, pulling the car down slowly in this instance to a late apex, and away we go. Here's the same thing again. Ingress corner, late apex. The time, 4.821 seconds. Here's what it looks like if you take an early apex on an ingress corner. The car runs down the middle of the straight, touches the inside of the curve early, and then has to correct quickly to finish the turn. Here it is again. Touching the inside part of the usable roadway too early. See what this does to the car? Now let's see what the difference is in time. With an early apex, 5.553 seconds compared to 4.821 seconds with a late apex. The difference is 0.732 seconds. A little hard to believe, but there it is. Properly, the car is wide to the right, up against the right side pylons. Improperly, as we approach the apex, the car is in the center of the turn. Look at the difference as we approach the apex. When we do it properly, we stay wide, brake late, and take a late apex. Improperly, the car brakes early, takes an early apex, and has a devil of a time trying to get around the backside of the corner. So far, we've seen two turns that are best taken with late apexes. Here's one where an early apex does the job, an egress corner. By taking an early apex, we can get power on sooner to build as much speed as possible for the long straightaway. Here's what happens with a late apex. Let's take a look at an egress corner properly in slow motion. We approach wide, we brake early, we take an early apex, and we get on the power sooner. Here's the time, 5.556 seconds. Here's what happens with a late apex. The time, 6.072 seconds. Exactly 516 thousandths longer. Look at the difference in the path. See the difference in the apex, and look at the difference in the exit. It's easy to see why it takes more time to do it wrong. If you're going